you're watching Women's Wrestling Weekly, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and we have nothing but amazing shows like we do every single week. This guest, wow, she's done a lot. She's a correspondent for Major League Wrestling. She is the champion for the Golden Era Wrestling Women's Champion. She's the Ignite Women's Champion, and she's the PBW Diamond Division Champion. Please welcome Kaci Lennox. How you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Oh my gosh, is that all? Did I miss one, or is that?
No, not yet.
So
many, right?
I know, right? Shout out to Black Wrestling Alliance. They posted that up today, and I believe they usually put me on to a lot of the wrestlers, and I believe you were one of them. So shout out to them for
nice.
sure. But what does it feel like to hold 3 belts? Where do you carry them with you all the time? Where are they hanging?
So the GEW belt is like super heavy, so no. They sit, I have like a display in my bedroom. They sit there, and I mean, it's just crazy to like know that I have 3 championships now, and to think like a year ago, around this time, I was diagnosed with a blood clot, so I was like out of wrestling for 6 months, and then to like come back and have 3 belts around the same time, it's insane. Like, wait, I still can't believe it.
Okay, so let's rewind. So you were diagnosed with a blood clot.
Yes.
And so that took you out for 6 months. Like, what was that process like? Like, how did you find out, and how did it all go
about? So I had a show in Ohio, May, I don't know, it's like the second or third week of May. Had a show in Ohio, and I flew back, and everything, was normal. I started having like rib pains. So like, I don't know if you can see it, like high rib pains, like here.
Right.
Overnight, and I was like, this is weird, but this should go away. Maybe it's just, I don't know, my birth control or something crazy. So I would have the pains overnight around like 3 a.m. and nothing would happen during the day. That's why I was like, hey, maybe it's whatever.
Right.
So I went to the doctors for like a pulled muscle in my shoulder, and at that time I had told him that I was having those pains overnight. So of course, doctors freak out or whatever, and he made me get blood work and then like a CT scan, and he found out I had a blood clot. So if I wouldn't have like brought it up to him, he would never know.
Yeah,
I would have been in trouble.
big trouble. So then you came back from that, and then you got a championship.
I did. It's insane. Like, it's still so crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm not like the best in the world or whatever, but I mean, if they trust me enough to carry their championship, I must be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us how you got into wrestling. How many years has it been?
I got into wrestling when I was 10 years old, so I'm about to age myself. I'm 26, so 16 years. But I started watching. I'm old. I feel like I'm ancient when I say 16 years, and like some people are coming into wrestling now, and they're like, I've been watching for 5 years. I'm like, oh.
That doesn't mean you're not old. You're just passionate about it. Like, you're one of those people who, like, when they're a kid, they wanted to be a doctor, and they became a doctor. It's the same thing. You just want to be a wrestler.
Yeah, that's true.
So how did you start wrestling school, or?
So I started training back in Maryland at Gilbert's Professional Wrestling Academy when I was 18, because like wrestling schools, they kind of have that rule where you have to at least be 18 to train, just for liability reasons. Mm-hmm. So I started training there when I was 18, and I only trained for a year. And I feel like I only trained for a year because someone there told me that the only way that I would make it was if I split with someone, or if I, kept working harder. And I think that really discouraged me from going back there. So after that, I was going to move to Tampa and go to the FCW, like beginners course that they had when they were in Tampa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was going to go there. And then, around that time when I planned on moving, they made the PC. So I couldn't, because now they don't have it anymore.
Right. But then you trained, are you currently training with Santana Garrett's school, or you trained with her?
Yeah. So that's actually where I'm at right now. I train at Team Vision Dojo, which is in Orlando, Florida. They also are under the I Believe in Wrestling name. So that's where I train now. And I've been here since 2016. Sorry. I've been here since April of 2016, and I love it.
What's the one
Like, I've learned so much.
Santana Garrett's been like around for a
No.
while, like, through WoW. I know her through WoW, but, I know she does a lot of other indie stuff. What's the one piece of advice that you've received from her that you kind of carry throughout your wrestling career?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if advice wise. I mean, she's the reason I came here, but advice wise. I just feel like she's very passionate about about wrestling. She's very kind to everyone, so I feel like that's something that I would take from her and learn from her is to just, be nice and like pick everybody's brain and just work your hardest.
Yeah, for sure. Does Evilise train at that one too?
She does occasionally, but I'm like always at work, which sucks.
Yeah, they actually tag our Instagram page often because of
Oh yeah.
Evilise. She's amazing. You definitely have to check her out for sure. But so you kind of started when you're 10. You started your training. Kind of what was the moment when you took your first bump? What was the first thing that came to your mind, to your head?
um, so when I started training back at Gilberg's, they kind of just like made you do it. So even though I'm like freaking out inside and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to bump because I'm gonna hit my head or hit my neck or something like that, you just kind of like do it. Like I remember when I took my very first bump, they had somebody go like behind me, so like in table position, so on
Uh-huh.
all fours, and they just like pushed my shoulder. So you kind of don't have or I didn't have like a choice. I just had to go. So yeah, it's scary. Like we're bumping on plywood and stuff like that, and I didn't
Oh,
want to hit my head. Like I don't have a helmet or anything.
wow.
But yeah,
Okay. You made it through. You made it through. Did you play sports in high school or anything?
I did. I played volleyball for my first year, and then I played tennis for my last 3 years.
And then did you go to university?
I didn't. I just came to wrestling.
Wow, that's crazy.
I have no backup plan. I'm
That's
scared.
that's no, you're doing quite well. Trust me. So how did you get with Major League Wrestling as far as the correspondent?
So, Mr. Saint Laurent, who used to be the booker for I Believe in Wrestling, him and I were obviously friends because he was the booker here. Um, he works at MLW. He's one of the owners. But he got me in. I sold merch in the beginning. And then they moved Aria Blake, who was the backstage correspondent kind of before they went on to TV. They moved her up to a valet role, and he wanted to bring me in for that. Like he pushed really hard for me. I came in and did like a test interview or test spot,
Hmm.
and then I got it. And now I'm
Nice.
traveling all over with him.
So what's your most like memorable thing like when you first started corresponding for them?
I feel like my most memorable anything with Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer's like the best person in the whole world. I can learn so much from him, whether it's like um, wrestling or whether it's just personal life stuff. He's super knowledgeable about everything.
Yeah, wealth of knowledge. Yeah, for you guys who don't
Yeah.
know, Major League Wrestling, it drops. I was aware of it, but I didn't know they drop like an episode almost every Monday. So definitely go and check it out. It's very good quality wrestling, which compared to some other folks, this definitely check them out for sure. So we have a question in the chat. The chat's blowing up.
Oh no.
First question:
Okay.
Do you see your improvement in pro wrestling from your beginning years to your present years?
Oh, definitely. I definitely do. I've been told by so many people that when I first started, um, like if I forgot like any part of the match, that I would just like stop and do this like deer in the headlight look. And I definitely don't do that anymore. I just continue to go and go and go. Um, because I know my moves and I know what I can do.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's where I definitely feel an improvement.
And now, if you had to choose between like the two, as far as corresponding and wrestling, which one, if you had to make the choice, which one would you do?
Wrestling's always my number one love. Like I love corresponding and I love, getting to work with people like Tommy or like Sammy Callahan.
Hmm.
Um, like everybody that MLW brings in, but like wrestling's my love.
Yeah, it's like almost like we had Brandy Rhodes on the show before the whole AEW thing and stuff like that, and she was saying the same thing. It's like she obviously did the stuff for WWE, but wrestling was what she wanted to do. So that was one of the
Yeah.
reasons why she left the company. So now, what is your ultimate goal? So you've been wrestling for 16 years. Don't look a day over 16.
Thank
what's the
you.
what's the ultimate goal wrestling wise?
So my ultimate goal, I mean, everybody says, you know, get to WWE, and I feel like that is my biggest goal in some aspects. But there's so much wrestling now, you know. Like
Hmm.
there's AEW,
Which is
there's
crazy.
yeah, there's Stardom, there's Marvelous. Um, so I feel like if WWE doesn't happen, then my goal is definitely um, to just travel the world and wrestle to make a household name, you know,
Hmm.
because there's so much more than WWE now.
Yeah,
But that
there.
is the goal.
Yeah, AEW when they brought out Awesome Con. I mean, I haven't even got to see the
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing, but it's
no.
just it looked amazing. It looks like they're definitely, and for it to be on Tuesday night on TV, it's gonna definitely be some
Mhm.
competition.
Yeah.
Traveling wise, have you traveled anywhere yet, or is there anywhere that you want to travel for wrestling?
I want to travel to England.
Okay.
I've traveled to like Ohio and everywhere with MLW. I've done like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. But I would really, really love to go to England just because I love their wrestling. Like British wrestling is my all-time favorite. Um, I want to say they're like down and dirty. They're like hard hitting.
Hmm.
Um, their mat wrestling is really good. So I would love to get over there. And if I can't wrestle, then just learn.
And then D Train in the chat says you should go to AEW. So I guess he's planning your career for you.
Thank you.
So I love it when it's like, no, you have to go here. Now, as far as competition, what's your anybody that you have wrestled thus far? Like, is there anybody that you had a really great match with, like your favorite match?
My favorite match would have to be, it's from a long time ago, but her name's Kikyo. She's based in California. I think she still lives there.
Hmm.
But she's my favorite match to date. Um, I love having matches with someone who trains here at the dojo. Her name's Lexi Gomez. Her and I
Hmm.
just vibe very well. But definitely my favorite match is gonna have to be Kikyo. She
Okay.
brought out a lot of me, and um, oh my goodness, Rocky Radwell. She's really good. I had a match with her recently. She brought out like the best in me. So
Nice. And then who
yeah,
would you like to have your match, like a dream match with, male or female?
dream match. I would say Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah,
And that's
because
possible.
he
That's
can.
so doable.
He is like he's the bomb. I watch him a lot. Um, just like he can tell stories, his selling, his reactions, stuff like that. He can literally make anybody look good. So definitely him.
And now, where do you see women's wrestling going? So you've been watching it for a long time.
Hmm.
Where do you hope it will go from this point?
I mean, I don't even know. Like it's already at the top. I don't want to say it's already at the top because there's so many more things that women can do, but literally they just main event at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Like some people say that's the very top um for women's wrestling, but there's so much more.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. That would always be my goal to like main event WrestleMania. I always wanted the tag team championships, so that's already happened. Mm,
You have three championships.
yeah, no, the tag team championships. I've always wanted that, like a
Okay.
women's tag team
Okay,
championship.
so you're adding that. Okay, another championship this year. I could see that. I feel
um,
like with women's wrestling, you have I mean, not too many people cross that threshold, almost like John Cena and The Rock, because it's sports entertainment.
hmm
So I would love to see, obviously every female wrestler can't be this, but at least one, two, five breakthroughs where they're a household name beyond wrestling, but they're known for wrestling. Like I would love to see that. Ronda Rousey's one, but she kind of had a name before she started wrestling, so I'd love to see like the start from that to like
yeah.
movie star or whatever. So that's it. But we have a lot of questions in the chat for you. D Train asks, will you be in Milwaukee for MLW on Friday? If
I,
so, he would like to meet you.
I will,
Okay.
and it's on Saturday.
Okay. Don't come on Friday, D Train. It's on Saturday. How do you choose your entrance music?
So I got mine custom made by Montezi. He
Okay.
makes a lot of like he makes Shane Strickland's music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like super talented. But I got mine made by him. He sent me some just different beats, and I picked one that I liked, and then he edited it. So yeah.
And then okay, he was asking what's your motivation for choosing the song. So do you kind of listen to the beat and it motivates you to kind of get pumped before you go into the ring, or?
Yeah, so I like music that have you ever heard of the show Star? or Empire.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like I like music that they play on Star, like that makes me feel. I don't want to curse on here. Oh my
You can
goodness.
curse. It's fine.
Okay, so music that makes me kind of feel like a bad bitch, you know?
Okay.
That's the kind of music, or like something like Cardi B or something like that. So when I listen to music, that is something that I need my song to be able to make me feel
Okay.
like I'm bad before I walk through the curtain.
I mean, you have to have that. You didn't, then you kind of like take over the world that way.
Yeah, right.
Now, as far as well, let's kind of break it down. You said your ultimate dream matches with Eddie Guerrero. Is there anybody in WWE that you want to have a match with?
I would love. I love to work with Sasha. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people say her and I look the same. Don't think so.
There's some
But
slight similarities. Actually, I'm lying. It's just more the skin tone. If you actually
thank
probably
you.
put the color, like the either the pink or the purple, whatever color she's rocking, you probably. But it's probably just the skin tone. Other than that, no.
So I love to work with her. Girl wise, I mean, I like to work with all of them. Guy wise in WWE right now, I would love to work with Dolph Ziggler.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
amazing too. Like I feel like he's so underrated, but dude,
Yeah,
his
he's
selling ability is insane. Um, his moves are crazy. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler.
and a good
That'd be
contract
the
too.
one person.
And then what about somebody in AEW?
Honestly, I would want to work Britt Baker. Her and I had a tryout together, or our tryout together. And she's grown tremendously as a wrestler. So definitely her.
And then what about Impact?
Maybe I've already wrestled Jordan. Probably Tessa. Tessa's hard hitting.
Yeah.
Tessa works like a man, which is good. Like she hits you. I want like when I wrestle, I actually like want to hit people or make it look real. You know. I don't want to get hit like softly, so I hit hard, and I know she hits hard, so that'd be good. It'd be a good fight.
And then what about MLW? So is there any plans eventually getting into the ring, or is that in the works, or what's the game plan with that?
I don't know. I don't get told anything until the day I get there. I do know that Court was talking about bringing a women's division in. I don't know when that's going to happen. I hope it's soon. I know a lot of people are, messaging him about it and commenting about it. So hopefully soon, and hopefully I can do more than backstage interviews. But I don't know. I literally will get told. I'll get sent a message and be like, "This is what you got to bring. This is what you got to do," and then it happens. So
sounds pretty much like the entertainment industry. You never know until you get there. Now, as far as traveling wise, is this do you do another job, or is wrestling all you do?
No, I currently work at SeaWorld. I am a photographer.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I do. Say it again.
Did they get rid of the because they had the whole thing, what was that documentary, Blackfish?
Oh, Blackfish, yeah.
Did they get rid of Shamu and the whole family, or are they still there?
So they are still there. They had plans to make it a like walkthrough exhibit. I don't know if that's still happening because we keep changing like owners and CEOs and stuff.
Right.
But the show's still there.
Huh.
Everything they're doing. They plan on doing everything in California first, and then like doing test runs and stuff like that, and then they're gonna do Texas and then Orlando last. I think because we're I guess the biggest park. I don't know.
Okay.
Or the park with most activity.
All right.
But yeah, they still have the Shamu show, and I still take pictures of Shamu. So.
Oh my god. Well, what's the? Well, I mean, so the people that you work with at SeaWorld, do they know that you're a wrestler?
Some of them do, yeah. Some of them don't, but like the ones that do always ask me questions. That's why I try to like, not that I don't want to tell them. It's just that like getting the same questions over and over again from my coworkers is a little weird sometimes. But some of them know, yeah, and some like they're really supportive. All my bosses know, they're super supportive. I get off literally whenever I have a wrestling show, so that's why I've stayed with the company,
right?
Because they do work with my schedule, so they're all supportive. The people that know, yeah.
And now you said you want to travel to UK. Are there any plans as far as traveling within this year? or what are you kind of doing to put that into the works?
I would love to travel this year. I have some promotions that follow me on Instagram, so I'm gonna reach out to them soon. I take my passport though, which takes at
Yes.
least no, it's the number one rule of a wrestler to have your passport, and I still don't have
You
it.
should get it.
I know.
You can get it in like a week if you expedite it, I think.
Yeah, you can. So that'll only take like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get that first. I'm slacking.
Yeah, what are you waiting
I'm
for?
done.
Joseph in the chat, he's like the GM for AfterBuzz Wrestling. He says you should also consider Shimmer, Shine, and WoW as far as other women's promotions to check out too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually I follow Shimmer. We follow each other on Twitter, and then I've done Shine once.
Mm-hmm.
With my MLW contract, I can't do anything WWE or WWN right now, so Shine's out of the question. But
Really?
WoW and Shimmer are definitely on my
Huh.
It's just everybody has different contracts.
Yeah.
So that's just what mine is.
Yeah, but I mean, consistent work is better than
That's
like
all.
once in a while work, so that makes sense.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So, ultimate dream, ultimate goal. You said possibly WWE, but there's other promotions. If you can like wave your magic wand and it can happen tomorrow, what would that dream goal look like?
WWE, definitely. Like if I could wave a wand and get an email right now, I would hope it would be from WWE.
And any
'Cause that's
brand
my goal.
in particular, Raw, SmackDown?
Honestly, NXT. NXT is like its own brand.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
even care like if I make it to to Raw or SmackDown, it wouldn't even matter to me. Like just being signed by NXT, getting the check that has the WWE logo,
Yeah.
like that's it. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, NXT would be fine for me.
Okay. And it's in Florida, so it won't be too much of a move, too.
I know.
So we're gonna do something called rapid hot tags.
Women's Wrestling Rapid Hot Tags.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions. You're gonna say whatever comes to the top of your mind. So always early or always late?
Always early.
Last-
Oh no. I'm always early when I wake up. I'm always late to everything else.
You're always early when you wake up.
Yeah, so like I get up at like 6 a.m.
Right.
But then like when I have to leave for work, I'll leave like say 10. I'll leave at like 10:15.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm always late in that aspect.
Okay. Last person you text.
Jason Cade.
If you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Anything Britney Spears.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a Britney girl.
Oh my gosh, I hope Britney is like okay now. That was like a weird scare. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Maybe to read people's minds.
Oh, would you want to do that though?
Kinda. Or
I don't know.
that's fine. That's my answer. That came out first.
Okay. Weekends or weekdays?
Weekend.
Costume parties or pool parties?
Pool parties.
Who would play you in a movie?
Oh my goodness. Who looks like me? Sasha Banks. I'm just kidding. I like Meghan Markle. She's cool.
Oh yeah,
She's cute.
I don't think
I
she's
don't
acting
think we look
anymore.
alike, but
Is she?
she's cool.
I wonder if she can act
Huh.
anymore. Okay. Last TV show you binge watched?
Actually, I don't even know. Oh, it was called like High Seas. It was some Spanish version of like the Titanic. It was weird.
Oh, is it on Netflix or
gives me
something?
Spanish
Or?
TV. Huh?
Is it on Netflix or?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay. If you were crayon, what color would you be?
Pink.
And a dream dinner guest, dead or alive?
Paul Walker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I would kind of want to. That's kind of a morbid question. I'll save that for later, next time. So, what's other matches or anything we can look forward to as far as wrestling wise? Can you tell us about?
So wrestling wise, I mean MLW in Milwaukee this Saturday. I have Viral Pro Wrestling in Georgia, Thompson, Georgia. The week after that, and then I'm back in Florida for a little bit. But I'll post everything. Like I post everything on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So,
Where can people find you?
you guys can find me. All of my social media is the same. So it's Miss Kaci Lennox. It's MISSKACILENNOX.
Thank you so much for coming on. You guys definitely check out Kaci. Her Instagram is poppin' for sure. If you want some inspiration, definitely check that out. And definitely MLW I watch it on YouTube. It drops on Mondays, so definitely check it out. Good quality wrestling. Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. No problem. And then for you guys, if you guys don't know, you can follow us on WPW Weekly on Instagram and in Twitter. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. If you are watching us or listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, make sure to give us 5